So here's the deal. 60,000 people, mostly young men, but also women and kids, tried to storm a tiny Spanish city on the coast of Africa in less than 24 hours. 60,000, in a place smaller than most suburbs. And this isn't some obscure border town, it's Ceuta, a European Union territory surrounded by Morocco. How does that even happen? Why does it matter? And why is Spain suddenly getting side-eyed by the entire EU? Let's unpack this. Look, Ceuta and Melilla, Spain's two enclaves in North Africa, have been geopolitical thorns for centuries. They're leftovers from colonialism, stuck in a region where tensions between Morocco and Spain are always simmering. But here's what fascinates me. This migrant surge wasn't random. Moroccan border guards let people through, not subtly looking away, but actively allowing thousands to march toward those razor-wire fences. Why? Because Morocco and Spain have a complicated relationship. When Europe pressures Morocco to control migration, Rabat occasionally responds by turning the border into a pressure valve. It's diplomatic chess, and Ceuta becomes the pawn. Now, let's talk about the human cost. At least 57 people died trying to cross. Drowned, crushed, forgotten. But here's the hypocrisy. When a few hundred drown in the Mediterranean, headlines scream. When 57 die here, crickets. Why? Because Ceuta isn't Europe in the public imagination. It's seen as a buffer zone, so tragedies get brushed aside. That's not just callous, it's dangerous. It normalizes treating human lives as collateral in political games. And what about Spain's Prime Minister Sánchez? He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, he's trying to maintain Spain's immigration-positive policies, like bringing in seasonal workers from Senegal. A noble experiment? Maybe, but critics call it naive. Other EU countries are side-eyeing Spain, with Italy even threatening to boot them out of Schengen. But let's be real. Italy's not about moral high ground here. They're just scared their own anti-immigration stunts will backfire if Spain's model works. Here's the deeper layer. Ceuta exposes Europe's foundational lie. The EU wants open trade, but closed borders. It wants stability in North Africa, but arms Morocco with deals that collapse whenever relations sour. And it wants to avoid humanitarian crises, but refuses to create safe migration pathways. So what happens? Thousands drown. Cities like Ceuta become battlegrounds, and Europe keeps pretending this isn't their fault. But maybe the biggest question is, what's the endgame here? If Spain maintains its openish policies, does it become a model or a warning? If Morocco keeps using migration as leverage, does the EU fracture further? And what does this say about the future of global migration? Because Ceuta isn't an anomaly, it's a preview. Climate change, economic collapse, war. These pressures aren't going away. So next time you hear about a border crisis, remember, it's not about the border. It's about everything that led people to risk death to cross it. What's your take? Drop it below.